Hey everybody, Mark Builds It here, and today I want to talk about POAPs. POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol, and it's run by POAP Incorporated. Their website is poap.xyz, and I'll put some links to that in the show notes. POAPs are very simply tokens that you can either give or receive for attending some kind of an event or completing a limited time duration activity. The first POAP that I was involved with, I was helping Odyssey DAO sort of commemorate their first all hands on deck team meeting. And we went to poap.xyz, we submitted some artwork for the token, let them know, when the event was going to start, when it was going to end, and then how many we needed and how long people would have to claim. And then anybody who showed up to the event, I collected their public addresses and sent them the POAP. Now, these POAPs don't really have any value. They are just proof that you went somewhere, did something. It's a souvenir. They like to describe it as the bookmarks of your life. So it's mementos that you would keep to show that you did a thing, or you went to a place, or you attended an event. But I think that because of the openness, the extensibility or the permissionlessness of blockchain, that POAPs and tokens like POAPs have a really strong use case for creators. So other than giving someone a token to commemorate their attendance at an event that you're organizing, they can be a really powerful way for you to build your own community or to let other people build a community around you. So imagine you had a series of online events, and for each of the people that attended the event, an individual event, they got a POAP. And then, let's say out of 10 events, you had some people who attended all 10, some people that attended 9, 8, 7, 6. If you wanted to reward those people who came to 8 out of 10 or more events, you would have a way to prove that those people were there without taking attendance. And that's especially important for large events because POAP has a system for distributing these tokens automatically. They have a few different ways you can do it, and I'll put a link to the different methods in the notes. But you could very easily create an exclusive event, like an in-person event, for the people who attended your online activities, and you could limit entrance to that event, and you could issue it as a ticket, an NFT ticket. Where the qualification to receive a ticket is that they attended a minimum number of meetings out of the total number of meetings. Another great use case is a way to move off-chain activities and accomplishments on-chain so that people can use them to signal their support or signal their interests. So the thing that immediately comes to mind for me is finishers medals for triathlons. I used to do a lot of triathlon running, a lot of road race running, and at the end of a race, if you finish, you get the finishers medal. And those things, they, depending on the race, they might be displayed prominently, or they might just be put in a drawer somewhere. But if you were issued an NFT when you registered for the event, and there was a little QR code on the back of each finisher's medal that someone could scan, and if they had entered the race and received the medal, then they would get a finisher's POAP that looked just like the in real life medal. So if you hold one of these finisher's medals and you want to look for other people who have the same medals, who went to all the same races that you went to, you could start to build your own community of racers and finishers in your area just by finding out, who's got the POAPs for the races that are in your area. So this could be useful for you as a person who wants to find a community. It could also be useful for a new event organizer to search for folks that have finished lots of races and send them a notification of a race coming up, or even offer to let them register in exchange for promoting the race to others. So there's a lot of opportunities there as a community builder and a business person, or just someone who's looking for a community with a system like that. As another use case, what if you were someone who performs like you're a musician in a bar, and they're coming out to see your music, but you don't really know who they are, and maybe they don't feel comfortable giving you their personal information. Well, if you had a way to issue a POAP for the people who came to the show, then you could find a way to reach out to them later by searching for the ID for that POAP. And then if you have people that have been to multiple shows, again, you now have a list of wallet addresses with no identifying personal information, nothing more than what they've already linked to that wallet, of people who are essentially super fans. And when you're starting a new project or getting ready to release a new album, you can group these people, you can search them and put them into a group and find a way to build a community with them, because you already know that they're somebody who's interested in what you're doing, and you don't have to collect their personal information to do that. Another thing that lets you do is if you can see what other POAPs are in these wallets, and that will, again, without having any identifying personal information, that will help you build a persona around your fans. You can find out where else do they go, what other things do they like to learn about, and by holding these POAPs, they're saying, yes, it's okay to signal that these things are important to me. So you're not violating their privacy. They know when they put these things together in one wallet that they're going to be associated with each other. So it's sort of a permission marketing system. And the really great thing about all this is it's free to issue them. It does require a little bit of work. You gotta, set up the parameters and create some artwork that isn't really generic. They do review applications over at poap.xyz, and they don't want you to just keep handing out POAPs for really not very meaningful events. Things need to be specific. So you think about it like, for a musician, you need to think about it along the lines of a flyer or a poster for each gig that you do. It needs to be something unique. It needs to be something people will want to have. But you don't have to know going into this what the utility is going to be. You can start building you can start allowing your fans or your supporters to collect your POAPs without really having any idea what you're going to do with them. And once you figure it out, once you have a great idea, you can give it a shot, and it can be a limited time offer. It could be a Discord server that's limited to people that only have a certain number of these things, or from a specific show. It can be a really useful tool for gathering people together. And POAP actually offers. They're trying to make things fun and useful on their end. They offer a raffle app that you can, as an organizer of a raffle, you can set parameters for people who hold certain POAPs. Each get a chance, or they get one chance per POAP that they hold. You can set these up in the parameters for the app. And then the raffle is drawn using random numbers pulled out of the blockchain. So the outcome of the raffle is completely traceable. It can't be fixed. And if people want to verify that, they can trace it on the chain and see how the raffle was done. So that's great. You can just set it up and forget about it. And then from that point on, your job is just to fulfill the promise of the raffle for whoever wins. They also have on-chain voting systems for people that own POAPs. So again, you can set it up to where anyone who holds a POAP gets one vote, or you can say each POAP represents a vote. So if you have someone who holds 3 or 4 of your POAPs, then they get 3 or 4 votes. So again, it's all done on chain. It's all through encrypted signatures, so the vote can't be fixed, and every vote can be traced back to a unique wallet address that's linked to a unique POAP. So it allows you to take polls in your community. If you want the poll to be democratic based on the number of people, then you can set it up that way. Or if you want it to be based on the number of POAPs, it can be set up that way. So, you can weight it based on, what people have collected versus, so the people that have been there longer or who have more invested in the way of time and effort can have a stronger vote. So these are all just NFTs. Why couldn't you just mint your own POAPs and send them out? And you can. The advantage to using POAP to distribute your POAPs is the fact that they are a third party and they are sort of an arbiter of issuance. So all the rules have to be set up in advance, and POAP holds you to those rules. So as a creator of a POAP, you can use their tools to ensure that to make it harder for people to farm you for these NFTs. That's a POAP farming is a thing. There are people who they will just show up so they can get this POAP because they think maybe down the line it'll be worth something to somebody else. And as a user, let's say a fan of a POAP creator, you are assured that the creator isn't just minting these things after the fact and stacking the odds and giving votes away or giving raffle prizes away to people that they like. So having a third party, sort of a disinterested third party, makes things a little more fair. But if you are just a band on the road and you want to allow people who like your band from different cities to find each other just by showing that they have the POAP, it's kind of like a sticker on the side of their car, then there's no reason to go directly through POAP. You can mint NFTs essentially for free and transfer them for free without having to go through somebody else to set it all up. Okay, I'm Mark Builds It on Twitter. Follow me there. Follow the videos, follow the podcast, whichever way you prefer to take in this information. I'll have all the links to poap.xyz on the show notes, and I'll be back with you tomorrow.